Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever you are. Greetings to you. After a long time, I am here again with you with a very sensitive and very important topic, that is the rise of atheism in Pakistan, which has become a very significant issue, and everybody wants to talk about it because there is a lot of atheists in Pakistan, as you can see on social media. Obviously, the ground realities are very different. If you see them physically, of course, then people are really reluctant to uh, announce themselves as an atheist. So, renouncing a religion is a big problem in Pakistan, of course. If you're a Muslim, then obviously you can't change your religion. And, the punishment of apostasy and the blasphemy, of course, is a death penalty. So, and then there are difference of opinions with respect to the blasphemy laws and the laws of apostasy in Pakistan. Many scholars think that there is no punishment of blasphemy in Islam, but if somebody leaves the religion, then of course the state has the liberty to punish that person. Now, this is very complicated. This is very clear that if somebody leaves a religion, he will not be quiet, of course. He will be very vocal about it. It's human nature that once you follow something very religiously, very strictly for many years, and you suddenly find out the reality of that religion, so obviously you turn your back on that religion, and obviously then you need to talk about it. It's not that you can keep quiet, like put yourself in a solitary confinement in a fortress maybe, and do not talk a lot about religion. That's not going to happen. That's not human nature. Like, once you leave religion, obviously you have been following it for like 20 years, maybe 25 years, maybe 15 years. It depends on your journey, of course. Few people who learn religion maybe in 4 or 5 years and they can leave it, but there are many people who follow it like 20 years, 25 years, and they leave it, and then they want to talk about it. They want to share their experiences with other people. So this is what is happening, of course. And if you are vocal about it, and if somebody in your vicinity, in your circle, in your community knows about it, then you can be in trouble, because there are laws which are applicable in Pakistan. Either it's related to apostasy or it's blasphemy law. They are applicable, and they are very strictly applicable. Well, there are many people on social media. They talk about rise of atheism in Pakistan, and they claim to get a number of like 10, like 1 million. Yeah, 1 million, I think. Yeah, 1 million. But I seriously doubt that number. And in my point of view, it's gonna be much higher. It's gonna be much higher. As I know, as I understand that the data they gathered was from the social media, and of course from the search engines. I call it skepticism. For example, if somebody has a doubt on some topic or some issue, he or she will get a hold of the mobile phone, maybe laptop, computer, and he or she will try to search for that. Now, every information is available on your fingertip. It's not that you have to go to a library and open a book and then find out what you're looking for. Now you have, if you know really how to search on Google, then you can find almost everything, because every literature is available on the internet. And then there is social media, then there is YouTube, then there are different groups available on Facebook where people share so many information, and then you can get to know everything in detail. So now it's very easy peasy. So like I think they consider skepticism as like getting away from the religion, which is not true. Of course, I believe the number is much higher. I can't guess it, of course. I can give you a safe number, but no, that's not gonna work, and that's not gonna be really a true figures. which you can really say that these are the number of people that which have become atheists in Pakistan, and this is the number, like maybe 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people, or 5 million people have become atheists. That's not true. Maybe the number is bigger than that, but obviously people know that it's very dangerous to be vocal in Pakistan. But if you see like different channels and different programs on rise of atheism, then there are many people who talk a lot about it, like uh, our own favorite Mr. Kasser Raja. He always tries to defend Islam in a very notorious and a very bad way, actually. Like his knowledge is very poor, and he doesn't know history a lot, and he has been bullshitting a lot on different channels. Of course, everybody knows that. So we know what kind of a person he is. Like literally, he doesn't have knowledge to talk about Islam specifically. So like if atheism is not on a rise, why are you talking about it even? And you're saying that atheism doesn't have a future in Pakistan and blah blah blah. Well, Mr. Kas Raja and whatever the person who defends Islam in a way that atheism doesn't have a future in Pakistan, why don't you eliminate the laws of blasphemy 295 A, B, C, and the death for apostasy, and then see what's the true worth of your religion? Then we will see as well. We'll see what's gonna happen, of course. But that's not what you're gonna do, because you know that there's gonna be a flood of atheism in Pakistan. So yeah, I will share a video with you, of course. Then I will translate it for you as well. For the audience who understands Urdu or Hindi, they can really interpret it very well. But of course, for the audience which who doesn't know Urdu or Hindi, then I will be translating it step by step. So I will play a video where you can see the hues and cries of these people, and they are really suffering from the pain, and you can see that. Just give me a moment, and yes, here it is. Just a moment. I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen so that you can also see. Just a moment. So, like Mr. Faisal is very famous celebrity in Pakistan, and he is also involved in honey trapping few atheists in Karachi. That's a different story. We have also uh, uh, like told that story on our other channel, but I'll try to cover it up in this as well. Let's see. First of all, I'll open this video and I'll play it for you so that you know what is the current situation, and see how these people are crying. So just give me a moment and I'll play it.
Recycle plastic. LO.
किया जा रहा है। इस वक्त मेरी हालत ये है फैसल कुरैशी साहब कि इस मुल्क में आग लग जाए। ये 2-3 लोग नहीं है, ये पाकिस्तान में कोई 1-2 हजार नहीं है। FIA साइबर क्राइम की रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक जो मुझे आज दिखाई गई है, उसके मुताबिक इनकी तादाद पाकिस्तान में 4 लाख है। Like he's crying here and he's telling Mr. Faisal that there are like 0.4 million people who have become atheists in Pakistan. But that's I don't agree with that number. That number is gonna be very high. That's just bullshit. Like he has come to know from some sources that there were people who were trying to search some strings maybe on the internet, some search some keywords. So he's trying to say that like he's got data from FIA or from different organizations who have been involved in checking the search like keywords. So he's telling here that the situation is very bad and we need to do something, and there are around 0.4 million people who have turned atheists. So I'll continue with the video. 120 लोग गिरफ्तार हो चुके हैं, 11 लोगों को सजाए मौत हो चुकी है। हम And he's saying that 4 people have been arrested and 11 people have been sentenced to death. करें तो करें क्या, किस दरवाजे पर दस्तक दें? हम ये सवाल करना चाहते, क्या हम मुल्क में जलाओ घेराव करें? ये मुल्क हमारा. And he's saying that we are really helpless and we really don't know what to do. Which door we need to knock so that we are heard, that the situation is very bad and it needs to stop. And you know what is the way to stop like the flood of atheism is to arrest them, of course. He will talk later in this video, which you will see. हमारा है, अगर हम एहतजाज करेंगे, रोकने के लिए पुलिस वाला आएगा, उसको हम मारेंगे, वो हमें मारेगा, वो हमारा भाई है, ये हल नहीं है। हम इसको किस तरीके से जो है वो हल की तरफ जाएं? हल ये है कि वालिदैन अपना किरदार अदा करें। हमारे यूनिवर्सिटीज के वीसी से लेकर हमारे
Now he's trying to say here that the parents of those kids who think who think that their kids are like turning to atheism, or they are skeptic about religion, or they are asking questions maybe, or they have some doubts, or they really want to be an atheist, like for example. So he's saying that the parents need to play a character in this regard, and parents need to like really tighten the screws for their kids. So he will talk later about this as well. Just watch.
यूनिवर्सिटी के शोबों के सरबराह तक, प्रोफेसर और लेक्चरार तक, आपके मुल्क में तो हाल ये हो गया है कि दारिया किस्म के लोग आपके यहाँ लेक्चर्स दे रहे, और ये
Now he's trying to he's trying to focus on some personality who has been an atheist, and he's giving lectures in university. I don't know what was that person who was talking about. Who was he talking about? Maybe some professor who maybe he's not an atheist. So these people have really, like mindset that if somebody asks a question on religion, he has turned into an atheist. For example, if somebody is liberal and he thinks that the secularism has to be the prime product in Pakistan, and it should be the prime focus for any state. A state should be secular. So these people, they call them dohriya atheists, and like they can really classify them as an atheist, which is not true. Of course, maybe that person is not an atheist. And in on our channel there was a professor who was trying to defend the theory of evolution, and then there was a mob who gathered them, and then he had to apologize, and he said like Rasulullah is the best personality in the world, and I respect Allah, and I respect the Prophet, and I respect everybody in Islam, and I will not do these kind of things again, and woman has to be has to stay at home, and she should not go outside and start a job or something. So like we have covered it very well on our other channel. So let's continue with the video.
किसी एक घर की कहानी नहीं है, अब घर घर की कहानी बन चुकी है। मोहतरम फैसल कुरैशी साहब,
Now he's saying that this rise of atheism is not limited to few homes, and it has become a story of every other home. And he is trying to focus on Faisal Qureshi, like Faisal Qureshi is the head of state. Like it's very funny, like he's sitting in a program, and this is ridiculous. Like Faisal Qureshi is a celebrity itself, and I don't know how many marriages, of course, he has, how many wives he has, maybe like 7 or 8. I don't know. I really don't know. 4 or 5 are confirmed, I think. And he's not a person. Like, who is he? He is working with like women in different dramas, and as per Islam, that's not allowed. Why doesn't he talk about that thing? No, he cannot, because it's sitting in the same program, and he charge money for that. So this is the hypocrisy of these clerics. He will never talk about these things. That Mr. Faisal Qureshi, why are you working with the women? These women are na mahram for you, you know. So why are you working with that woman? You're not supposed to. As per Islamic Sharia laws, you are not supposed to work with those women. Let's continue.
मुझे बोलने दीजिए, इजाजत दीजिए मैं अर्ज करूं, इसमें किसी मसलक और मकतब का कोई जो है वो इम्तियाज नहीं। एक आलम दीन तौहीन करते हुए पकड़ा गया, देवबंद मसलक का हो या बरेलवी का हो या अहले तशय्यो का हो।
Now he's talking about some cleric that he was caught red-handed, talking some blasphemic content. Now, this is very stupid as well. You are not able to define blasphemy till now. What is blasphemy? Maybe he was saying something that Rasulullah didn't marry Aisha at the age of 6, and he married Aisha at the age of 16. So maybe he considered that as blasphemy. There are many people. There are many ulamas, clerics, molvis, muftis. They talk a lot about religion each and every day. You never know who's talking what shit. Like I strictly remember once Tariq Jamil was saying something about Yunus alayhi salam, and he was saying something bad, And then these all Deobandi ulamas, they came into the picture, and they started like bashing Tariq Jamil really hard, and they said that this is blasphemy and he needs to stop that, because of course Tariq Jamil is a big celebrity, so he came and he apologized. And he has a backup, he has a back of politicians and of course the establishment, not now anymore, but of course he used to. Let's continue with the video.
या गैर मुकल्लिदीन के यहाँ से हो, अहले हदीस के यहाँ से, ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह, आज उन्होंने मुझे जो रिपोर्ट दिखाई है उस रिपोर्ट को देखकर मेरे रोंगटे खड़े हो गए। ये सब इस मुल्क में हो रहा है। ए वालिदैन, अपना हक अदा करो, बच्चों की निगरानी करो, और बच्चों की निगरानी हमने इस
Now he's again pointing out parents, and he's saying that you need to focus on your kids and keep an eye on your kids, what they're doing, and where are they going. So you need to keep an eye on every activity of their kids. Let's continue.
तरह से करनी है। उस दिन मुफ्ती अबू मोहम्मद साहब ने एक एप्लीकेशन की तरफ इशारा किया था कि घर के डिवाइसेस से उसको मुंसलिक करो, माँ बाप निगरानी करे। इस वक्त आपके मुल्क को तबाह करने की साजिश की जा रही है, आपके कौमी परचम के साथ जो कुछ हो रहा है, अलियाज बिल्ला। अब हम क्या क्या रोना रोए। मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं और मेरी ये गुजारिश है अरबाब इख्तियार से, और मैं ये अर्ज करना चाहता हूं, ये तौहीन करने वाले कौन है? जो नामूस रिसालत के नाम पर, सारे नहीं, कुछ लोग नामूस रिसालत के जलसे करते, मिलाद का जलसा करते, उनमें तौहीन करने वाले मौजूद है। कुछ लोग वो है कि जो अहले बैत अतहार के तस्करे करते, सैयदा
Now he's really pointing out the issues which are their internal problems. You know, as we know that Islam claims to be the perfect religion in the world, and they say ummate muslima, Muslim is one soul, one body, which is very pathetic because that's not true. If you go to a Deobandi alim, especially like the people who were following Sapa Sahaba for many years, they call these Alitashi kafirs, and they tell them that, and they tell you that they should be killed. They should be killed. They are the blasphemic sect of Pakistan. And then if you talk about Ahmadis, Qadianis, you know very well what is the situation of Qadianis and Ahmadis in Pakistan. And same like the Brelvis in if you talk about Brelvis, of course they go to uh, these shrines where they say their pray, and they ask from them. And of course, then if you talk about these Deobandis, they will tell them kafirs, mushriks, and blah blah blah. So this is the internal consistency which Islam has and the people of Pakistan has. This is what he's talking about. He's saying that there are many people who are doing the blasphemic content and blasphemic, like they are saying in their speeches, and they're like uh, so let's continue.
तारा के नाम के तस्करे करके मैं सिर्फ इशारतन ये अर्ज कर रहा हूं, फैसल कुरैशी साहब प्राइवेट पार्ट्स पर ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह सैयदा।
Now, where did that come from? Like he's saying that on the private parts of the people, like it was written like Fatima Zahra and blah blah blah. This is the problem which I'm telling you, because Alitashi had some problems with Umar, Abu Bakr, and they literally abuse these people, and especially Aisha, and they don't consider them good, of course. And there are many reasons that's not the topic for today, but this is the internal consistency which Islam has. So that's really amazing and beautiful. Let's continue. Look at the Faisal. I think he wants to laugh.
तय्यबा ताहिरा आबिदा जाहिदा ज़किया मुज़क्किया हजरत सैयदा फातिमा का नाम लिखा हुआ है। इससे पहले हम मर क्यों नहीं गए, ये दिन देखने से पहले।
And he says that the name was written on the private part of Hazrat Fatima, and like, why are we even still sitting here? And we should have been dead by now, because that's really ridiculous and that's really intolerable. And this shouldn't happen. And he's trying to cry actually, so you can see the drama.
हमें मौत क्यों नहीं आ गई?
पूरा साल इंतजार था मुझे इस रमजान में 30 दिन 6 टीम्स सारा कंटेस्टेंट कैश का पास आपका नहीं।
So I think this is it. So that was one example of the few videos, and You must have seen on YouTube many other people talking about rise of atheism in Pakistan. Now I will try to cover the reasons which I think they are the main reasons of people turning into atheists. One of the main reason is the people are not getting the answers to their questions, and we all know that every religious person, I will not categorically say Muslims, but every religious person does not have the tendency to read or understand their scriptures. There are very few people in every religion which you will see that they really read and understand their scriptures. And if you ask majority of the Muslims in Pakistan, have you read Quran, have you read hadith, have you read fiqh, have you read your books, other books, they will say no, we didn't. And still they have a belief that Allah is the only God and Rasulullah was the only true prophet and the best human being in the world. But if you go into the nitty gritties of these scriptures and into the history, then they will be speechless, and they will not have answers to your questions because they hardly read and understand their scriptures. And even if they read it, of course there are different translations of Quran, and you will hear them listening to, oh, you didn't read the context, oh, you don't know the translation, you don't know Arabic, how can you contextualize these verse and blah blah blah. But majority, of course, they are the one who did not read their religion like uh, the way they have to. This is one of the reason, and when they start reading it, understanding it, and raising questions, this is one of the reason. And of course, when you see, like, if you ask questions, those are not being answered. That was the case with me. Like, once I was raising questions from so many people, instead of getting answers, I was like really sidelined even by my friends. And I asked them questions, and they said, no, no, we don't have answer to your questions, and why are you even asking those questions? Stay Muslim, like, what is your problem? So, like, this is the mindset. And I raised so many questions, and instead of answering, they said, no, why are you, like, you need to read. I said, wow, I have read it already. Oh, no, no, you need to read that tafsir, you need to read that book and blah blah. I said, no, I have read everything. So can you answer the question? No, 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 I can't. So that's the mindset of the majority in Pakistan, and this is going to be continue for the coming years. So this is one of the reasons that people are turning into an atheist. And then, of course, the problem is the the default position of the God comes from the divine book. And if you really find out that the book is really inconsistent and it lacks the historical evidences, as we all know that many Muslims, if you ask them questions like, where is the Quran from the age of Rasulullah? They, like, Rasulullah had a prime responsibility to complete Quran in his own life, which he couldn't do it. Now there'll be many people telling you that, oh, this is the Usman Quran, it's available there, it's available in Bukhara, Tashkent, it's available in Topkapi, Birmingham scriptures, blah blah blah. But there is no complete Quran which they can really tell you that it was written at that time. Majority of the Muslims, they really don't know. And there are different narratives. Oh, you can't do that because it was memorized, and there were 400 sahabas who were memorizing it by heart, and Allah had the responsibility for each and every word of the Quran which was memorized. That's really a Chinese whisper, of course. So if the people are reading Quran and finding mistakes and finding the inconsistency with respect to historical background and context, then obviously you raise really really good questions. And if those questions are not answered, then people really turn their back on religion, and they turn as atheists. Then of course, like, if you read the life of Rasulullah, then you will find many problems with it. One of the biggest problem, everyone knows that Rasulullah married Aisha when she was 6. Now you will see many other school of thoughts. For example, Ghamdi Saab will tell you, no, she was, before he was saying that she was 16 when she got married to Rasulullah, and then uh, when the marriage was like consummated, she was like 19 years old, which is not true. And now he says maybe she was 21, but we don't know. But if you ask Ghamdi Saab, what was the date of birth of Aisha? Oh no, there is dispute and we really don't know the exact date. Yeah, we don't know, but the contradiction in the dates is not very huge. They're only a couple of years. So we know from the scriptures, from references, from a hadith that her age was 6 and 9. So then people really ask questions on the life of Rasulullah, which we used to hear that he was one of the best human beings in the world. But when we see the reality, it's very different. These are these are very like important things which really is main source of people leaving religion, or maybe asking serious questions. And for example, if somebody's asking questions, then he's digging deep more and more into the religion and he finds new things. Like I have my Facebook ID and I'm running it for like now 12, 13 years, and there are many people in my inbox asking questions, and of course I try to answer as per my own knowledge and capability. I try my level best to answer those questions, but sometimes if I don't have the answers, I ask them to give me some time, maybe 1 or 2 days, but then I give them the answers from like references, proper references. And then they really like they are shocked sometimes, and oh really, did that happen? Yeah, it did happen. So these are the things, like which when they find really loopholes, not loopholes, but really big holes in the religion. And of course, the standard narrative of Islam, it has many problems, many problems. So once you can't defend your religion, then of course you try to manipulate with the words, with historical backgrounds, and you try to manipulate with the scriptures, and you say no, this is not good, this is not authentic, and this is not authentic. Like Ghamdi Saab, even he tries to, you know, reject the hadith from Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari. He doesn't have like huge following, of course, like other people, but obviously there is a group of people who follow them, and they are educated. But as I feel, for Ghamdi Saab, of course, there are people who are escaping from like namaz and roza, of course, from Ramadan, and because they have to fast for 30 days. And there are many people who are Quran only, and they said now there is no fasting for 30 days, and you don't have to pray for 5 times a day. So there are many versions of Islam, well, many versions of Muslims in Islam, like maybe 20 to 25. You never know. Ask them, like, get 25 Muslims together in a room, and you will get maybe 75 to 80 different ideas. But maybe point of views about Islam, point of views about Quran, point of views about Hadith, references, everything. So this is what Islam is like. They cannot have a consensus on central point, on focus point, on main points that okay, these we agree on these things. They don't agree on even 5 basic points of Islam. So this is where the problem is. Then people really ask questions that why the standard narrative has these problems, and why these problems are not sorted out. So as I see, with the help of social media, and there are many activists on YouTube, uh, of course, Ghalib Kamal, Haris Sultan, they have really helped people of Pakistan knowing the reality of Islam. They have really worked very well, especially Ghalib has very good knowledge on scientific problems in Quran, and same goes for Haris. These two people have really like damaged Islam, big deal if I say. They have been working for many years now. Then there are a few people in India, and then there are a few other people, from Christians. They are exposing Islam, and it has to be, of course, it has to be exposed, because as I see, absolutism does not have any space in any society these days. Islam is a cult, and wherever you see absolutism, it will always have a problem. So I think that's it from today, and we will keep shedding light on rise of atheism in Pakistan, and more and more reasons. There was somebody who was supposed to join me, but he couldn't. I think he was busy. I didn't even receive a text from him. So maybe in our future program, he will join us. Then we can talk more about it. So next time we will cover more topics. It was a very delayed stream because I was very busy with other channel and other things. So now we will be focusing on more on this channel. We will be streaming at least 1 or 2 days in a week. Maybe we can do monologues. So thank you very much for listening and watching. So see you some other time. Bye bye and take care.